Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome inside the WBB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. Nick Flasher joined each and every week by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride women's basketball team, Coach Steveskey. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, we had the CA tournament this past week, the CA quarterfinals. You end up losing to Northeastern 65-54. So we'll start out the show with some thoughts from that game.
Not a lot of thoughts, but just disappointment. The kids, yesterday's practice was good to get back on the court because you could just see, how they felt, and they knew they had to just kind of get back on the horse again, and they're ready to go. We had a great practice. Ashane and Aliana were just on point yesterday, and just trying to kind of get out of the feeling of just disappointment. I mean, we knew that they were going to come out. They were playing with nothing to lose. It just was unfortunate that we could not rally. The run lasted way too long.
And for Northeastern that first half, it was the worst combination, I guess you could say, for your team. They were hitting their shots, and for your team just not being able to make a shot. Just what happened in the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, you watch a lot of basketball, and it is a different element. You know that as a coach. You don't want to put too much thought on that. You don't really even talk about it to your players. Whether Aliana hasn't had a lot of conference experience, or Jaquel, having Kelly being out and Asia being out, so it is what it is. But even for players that are veteran, I've watched enough basketball. It's a different element now. The stage is a little bit higher. The stakes are a lot higher, and that's the way we played. We just didn't play as relaxed, and when the waves were coming, we were a little starstruck, and then we started making just really unforced turnovers, and our body language was not good. I mean, we were handing them just pieces of the pie right and left, and like I said, then the deficit got too big. But what we did in the second half was amazing. Those five that were killing it, and Sandra coming in and giving some minutes, just I couldn't be more impressed with them, and I spoke about that a lot after the game, because it is what it is. We needed some floor leadership. We needed floor leadership during that crazy period, and but they were making every single shot that they threw up. I mean, they could have thrown a hook shot from half court, the way that their luck was running. And then, unfortunately, the next day they played back to the normal Northeastern. And in the second half, they played the normal Northeastern. The deficit was just way too big.
And just talking about that second half, really from on the sideline, from my perspective, really two that were leading the charge in that second half, Ashane Durant and Angie White, even though she does foul out. Just can you talk about what they were able to do in that second half?
Yeah, the passion and the light switch that turned in Ashane's head was probably, everybody can sit back, and whether you're a parent, whether you're an avid fan, whether you're a staff member at Hofstra, you know how talented Ashane is. And, and as her coach, throughout the year, it's just like pieces of the pie for her to say, don't defer, you can shoot this thing, you can take it. But we can tell anybody what to do, but obviously something triggers. I think that light bulb triggered in her, her passion of not wanting to lose that game, to be part of the first part of it, of how it got out of hand, and then just trying in her power to do anything that she could to help us win. But the coast-to-coast the handling the ball, the three walks, and unfortunately, the first one was right in the first play. All right, check or whatever. But the other two were at catalyst positions. They were in our run. One was most specific, that we were getting ready to score twice in a row, and then the last one we had cut it to 8. So it was a travesty. I mean, I can't, as poorly as we played, but it's still as poorly as the game was called. It was atrocious. I mean, the kid goes the entire season long. I probably can count one walk on her hand, and then she gets 3 massively athletic moves. She has the best body control. So, I can't talk enough about her and just her will to win, and inspiring Aliana and Darius, during that whole run. And then Angie. Angie just had grit. At timeout, she was just like, let's just cut it down. During the third quarter, we said we wanted to end the third quarter to get to 32. We got to 35. So she was just trying to lead her team, and just piece by piece, she was like, there's no 120-point shot. So just the verbiage, here you are in a bad situations, people's true colors come out. And those people on that floor were just trying to find a way, putting their blinders on. They knew it was an ugly score. They weren't let their egos get in the way. They weren't trying to, be nonchalant about something. They were just trying to figure out a way to fix a tough situation. And I'm just most proud of all of those involved.
For as good as the comeback was in the second half, I feel any time you need a major comeback, it's a matter of hitting the 3 ball. And in that game, 2 of 18 from the field, just was it Northeastern doing, or just one of those games where the shot just isn't
Yeah, I
falling?
mean, it just kept, getting worse and worse. In whether it's Jaquel and Aliana, and just you still want somebody like Jaquel going to battle for you though. That was the part that, yes, it wasn't falling, but the kids' effort was just amazing. That chance to hit that three in the corner to cut it to 7. Man, the entire bench. Liv jumps up, Kelly jumps up. Kelly's about halfway on the floor. Sid, DTP, the coach staff. I mean, the type of spirit that the majority of that team showed to that, even if she hadn't hit a bucket yet. At that point she was, hadn't made one yet from missing free throws. But that's a mark. You make that one shot, and then everybody forgets about the ones that you did, and you cut that back. So it was just unfortunate. I mean, it's not indicative to the type of player that she is, not indicative to the type of team that we are. It was just a struggle, and we just couldn't get over that hump. So, what can you say? Get to the basket more coming into this next game. Be more selective. There was a few jump shots that drew 3 that were not good shot attempts that we took. So we just got to be a little bit more, selective as we, get ready to play Harvard.
And for as difficult and disappointing as it was in the CA tournament, like you said, you have new life now in the postseason with the WNIT coming up. So for these seniors out there, a second life for that,
Right.
Another one which could right any wrongs from last
Well,
week.
completely. I mean, you're sitting there going, when I saw we've been doing is shooting. Like I said, even yesterday, spent a lot of time shooting. Sunday they had a captain's practice, did a lot of shooting. So now they're back on the horn. They get a chance and have a home game. This hadn't happened in a while. Against a team that's good, it's smart. Not even because they're from Harvard. But they are. They're a little bit undersized, but they're crafty, and they actually shoot the ball around 31 or 33% from the 3. They make about 7 threes a game. So they played Penn tough. The final score didn't show when they played Penn in their last game, but it was a close first quarter and a really close fourth quarter. They only scored like 4 points between the second and the third quarter. That's where they obviously lost the game, but. Penn is legit, but they're good, so it's going to be a battle.
And you basically gave a preview of Harvard there. So
Yeah.
For coming up this Thursday at the MAC, what do you need to see from your team to get that victory in the first round of the WNIT?
Yeah, I mean, now obviously several days removed from the tournament. I mean, we just got to kind of get back on the horse. We got to play together as a team. We need to be more calculated of how we run in our attack. And get the ball to the right people at the right times, and defend and rebound always are those things that you kind of do. But just started watching Harvard obviously when we got the nod last night and early this morning. So really this week needs to be about us. We need to get our confidence back. We need to get what we do back, and knock down some shots for sure, because you can defend the best. We got to put some points on the board. So just excited, and I'm sure everyone's ready to kind of wipe that taste out of our mouth and move forward in the WNIT.
She's the head coach of the Hofstra Pride women's basketball team. Coach Steveskey, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You've been watching the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com.